Since 1994, I've been teaching throughout the former Soviet Union on the graduate and undergraduate level at new Bible colleges, seminaries, and Christian universities that have opened up since the fall of communism. I can tell you firsthand what socialized medicine is like. When I got to Kiev in 1994, a city of 2.5 million people, they didn't even have Band-Aids, okay? Now, the president says we need to do this because we are our brother's keeper. He has a half-brother living in Kenya in a hut on $12 a month, and he hasn't spent a penny. This is on the subject. His wife's walking around in $500 sneakers, carrying $40,000 purses, and he's telling us we need to care for our brothers. We can't let this be an emotional issue. This affects everybody, especially the older people in the audience. That bill says in the legislation they're going to take $400 to $600 billion away from Medicare and Medicaid. If that happens and you're over 50, you're dead, because some bureaucrat in Washington is going to look at you and he's going to say, well, guess what? It's not worth $2 million or $50,000 to keep Joe Blow alive. They spent $5 million keeping Kennedy alive for 5 months. But guess what? I've read Animal Farm. According to Animal Farm, all animals are equal. But some animals are more equal than others. And according to that bill, Congress is exempt. The Senate is exempt. The President is exempt. Their extended families are exempt. And guess what, guys? Everybody in a union is exempt. Because in that little bill, it says that people who are in unions, who have contracts, those health care contracts can't be undone. So that's why you see these thugs outside chanting. That's why you see SEIU. That's why you see the AFL-CIO. Because it's not going to cost there. It's not going to affect there. My mother is 93 years old. Right now she's in a nursing home. Under Obamacare, she'd be dead by now. Under Obamacare, Kennedy would be dead by now. And guess what he is? But they spent $5 million keeping him alive because he's a Kennedy.
Well, let me respond this way. First of all, I think you need to speak your heart a little more. But you're right. This is a very personal piece of legislation. And I understand why people are so angry. And I understand why people want their voices heard. This is the most sweeping piece of legislation
In American history.
I would agree with that, in American history. So it should, rightly so, get the scrutiny that we all as Americans are offering. And if you're for it, you have just as much right to say you're for it as those who are against it. But I would say this, and I'm serious about this. There should be an amendment that says anyone who votes for this bill has to go on public property. Well, it should come to the full floor and everybody should be recorded on that vote. Because if this is supposed to be about each American, and we've heard that there are two Americas and the haves and have-nots, this shouldn't only be for the rest of us. This legislation, if it passes, should be applied to everyone who votes for it, pure and simple. And I think if you look at it through that lens, maybe some ideas change a little bit.